into the chat box. I want to welcome everybody onto this call today. My name is Nikki. I am your chairman here in the Academy, and I don't take this for granted. This is our Monday Mindset Call where we focus on pouring into ourselves to receive for ourselves. A lot of us are leaders in life, in business, in our household, and this call is for you. It's for you to pour into yourself. And as I was studying and speaking to God about how I was going to execute this message today, I had a live example and it really hit me. And so, you know me, I'm a very transparent leader. I'm going to talk to you guys only about things that I know about because I've lived it, because I've been through it. And so we're going to get deep into this today. Again, those of you, let me just let some more people in the waiting room. 30 seconds, guys. You're not going to want anyone to miss today's session. And we're also going to go deep into some NFTs at the end of the call. So get excited about that as well. And then I have a special announcement for us, as I always have a special announcement for us. I know you all get very excited over that special announcement. Okay, so this is very, very amazing to be here. And those of you that don't particularly know my background into some of the traumatic experiences that I've had, I shared it on a previous live with you guys in regards to when I had been burgled and the knock-on effects and the trauma that came from that. And one of the things that I decided to do was to get therapy and to speak about it and to find out what I couldn't let go of that experience and how I could literally break down some of the walls that I had been, that I had held up. And so on the back of today's call, I want to be able to equip you on how you can break down some of the walls that you've built up that could potentially be holding you back from getting to the next level. Do I get your permission to go ahead and do that? I will be sharing from personal experience because that's the only way I know how to teach. But I want you to pull from it what you can and definitely communicate with me in the chat box. We will be touching base on our mind work, our heart work, and also our phone work as well. So have that in mind. And then what I want to do is I want to give you 12 tips on how you can stay focused onto your goals. Because at the end of the day, guys, what I've realized, especially when dealing with trauma, is that it's a distraction. These things are distracting you away from what you should do. And almost it's a byproduct, right? Because if I wasn't distracted, I wouldn't really realize that there was an issue that I needed to deal with, that, because of the trauma, it was holding me back in certain areas. So I'll tell you this, one of the byproducts of the trauma meant that I wasn't networking in the way that I usually would, right? So I think I shared on a previous call, you guys can remind me if I shared this, is that I was very careful. And normally you are careful who you invite to your home anyway, but I was extra careful in who I would invite to my house, in the sense where some family members weren't invited to my house because I wasn't 100% sure when it came to I began to have trust issues, right? And I had to have a look at what that meant. And when has anybody had trust issues before? Go ahead and put some numbers in the chat. 7's in the chat if you've ever had trust issues and what that can do. I see you there, Figgy D. And what that can do, which is literally, all right, you put this wall up, you put a barrier up, right? You want to separate yourself from the thing that you believe is a threat. Yes or yes, right? So we have in our mind that there's a situation or there's a potential reoccurring pattern that seems to be a threat, okay? And so what we then do is we put up a wall, all right? We put up this wall to protect ourselves away from what we believe is the threat, right? So let's throw out some examples there. If you've ever been, I don't know, an easy example, if you've ever been cheated on before, or you've ever had physical abuse in a relationship, there could be a situation where people may try to get close to you, or somebody may try to, want to have a relationship with you, but you stay closed a little bit because you don't want to have that reoccurring situation happen to you because you believe that it's happened to you before. How many of you ever been like, yeah, I ain't doing that for no man again? That ain't happening to me again. I know I could see some of the ladies like, yo, Nikki, you're talking to me, right? How many of us have ever gone all out for a man? I'm coming to you, gents, don't worry. All out for a man. You undone everything for him, and then he went and messed up, and you're like, yeah, no man, no boy, I not get that again. I ain't doing that for no next man. Yeah, he had the best. He's done spoiled it for the whole of the man them out there, right? No boy, no, yeah. All right, and same for the men. How many of you have been really heartbroken by a female to the point where you're like, okay, I'm never gonna let a female that close to me again, right? Any men understand what I'm talking about? Where that female, they had that spot for you and it wasn't reciprocated, and you were like, okay, so now, you know, I'm a still chat to females, but maybe I'm not going to give them that part of my heart. All right, so that's one example. What other examples can we think of where trust has been an issue? All right, trust is something that takes years to build and only seconds and moments to break. And what we have to establish is, you know, how, you know, one of the things that my my therapist has said to me is, on a scale from 1 to 10, right? You have 1 being I trust nobody ever, and 10, I trust everybody all the time. Now, what we're not saying is that you need to be a 10, because you're going to go from one extreme to the next, right? But actually you take a calculated risk, right? Because when we say that we don't want to trust no one, yes, betrayal from family and friends makes you nervous, right? You gave all into a friendship. And then when you really deeped it, you found that it was one-sided. When you really deeped it, you realized that you were the one giving, and that one coming back. And then you're like, you know what? Certain people, they're going to have to qualify for my time. Certain people, you know what? Certain people can't even access me again. You start to shut off to the whole world because of one situation, right? And you know what one of the things my therapist was saying to me in regards to something else, but in regards to trust, was this scale of trust, all right, and risk, and how we look at risk. How many of you, I would like you to put on a scale from 0 to 10, how much risk do you take on a daily basis? What would you say? 1 being no risk at all, 10 being big risk, all right? And I'm not just talking about trading for the traders. On a scale from, you know, 1 being 0 risk, and then 10 being, I take risk every single second of the day, right? And you will be surprised when I tell you this, guys, that you take more risk than you think. How many of you cross the road not at a traffic light? Put me in the chat. If you cross the road and you're not at a traffic light, you're like, yo, I can make this, right? I can make, that's dangerous. On a scale from 1 to 10, how dangerous is that? What could happen to you by taking that risk? What is the thing that literally could happen? You could literally get into an accident. That is a high risk thing. And how many of us do that, right? We cross the road, not at a traffic light where we're supposed to. How many of you have run across the road, not where you're supposed to? That's the worst one, when you run across the road, all right? How many of you, right? So on a scale from 1 to 10, that's a big risk, but we do that, right? We do that, yeah? What about, all right, let's bring it back, even before we left the house. How many of us take risk in the morning before we've left the house? Anyone on this call take a risk in the morning before they left the house? Give me an example of a risk that you take in the morning before you leave the house, all right? Because this, I want you to understand, you know, the risks that we take, right? Sleep in the bath, wow. That's deep. That's a big risk right there. That's risky. And Gary, I'm sure you probably do it all the time. It's not just a one-off. It's not like you did it once. Leaving my inhaler at home, doing school run, big risk. Leave the stove on. Yo, you guys are risky. Yeah. Sleep in the bath too. Keep the iron on all morning, big risks. Let's take it even before that. Before you've even gone into the kitchen or gone downstairs, just from your bed. How many of you take a risk in your bed in the morning? So when you wake up in the morning, how many of you charge your phone near your bed? How many of you make sure that you can reach your phone in the morning, so you put the charger close to your bed, right? And you make sure that the charger is close enough to your bed so that you can catch it, so that it doesn't die and you can actually access your phone quickly, right? So you're sleeping with an electrical device right near your bed. Every single day you take that risk. without a blink of an eye. Why? Why is that risk okay? How many of us brush our teeth? What's the risk of you brushing your teeth? You brush your teeth, what's one of the risks or some risks that could happen on the back of you brushing your teeth? Let's go ahead and talk in the chat. What could potentially happen whilst you're brushing your teeth in the morning? You could choke, yeah. Brush too hard, hurt your gums, yeah. But we still brush our teeth, right? Why? You could slip on the wet floor, swallow my gold tooth. Allergy to the fluoride if you're brushing your teeth with, certain toothpaste, yes. Okay, but we still take that risk. Why do we take the risk? Why don't we say, listen, I ain't brushing my teeth because potentially I could choke? Why do we take that risk? Why do we take the risk to cross the road, not at a traffic light, which is highly dangerous, but we won't take the risk to get close to a new friend in case they hurt us? Which one could potentially hurt us the most? Now we're talking about the mind work, the heart work, and the phone work, all in one example right now. I want you to deep this. I want you to really deep what I'm talking about, because we tell ourselves that we're protecting ourselves, but it's not. This is a wall that we've built up. This is a wall that we've built up to tell ourselves that it's safer, but it's because of habit. Yes, Hannah, it's a habit. And how do you break a habit? You got to first understand that this is a habit. When people say generational curses, I don't believe that they're generational curses. They're generational habits. So guess why I cook rice and peas? Because my mom used to cook rice and peas and my great-grandma used to cook rice and peas. These are habits that I've adopted throughout the generations. And so what are the habits that we've adopted that we tell ourselves it keeps us safe, but actually what's the dangers? So what's the dangers if we really decided that brushing our teeth was so risky that we stopped brushing our teeth? What would be the dangers of that, guys? Because when you see risk in a way where it's going to stop you from doing what you need to do, you now put yourself in more danger than you did by trying to prevent yourself from the risk itself. All right, your teeth could fall out, cavities, teeth could turn black, right? So many things. What's the risk of actually saying, okay, I'm not going to cross the road at all. I'll never cross the road. All right. So you now go the reverse. Instead of crossing in the middle junction, you're now saying, right, I'm never, ever going to cross the road. What could be the dangers of that now? So instead of you crossing the road, not at the traffic lights, now you're saying you're never going to change. You're never going to ever cross the road. Yes, your journeys are going to take longer. You may never get to the destination. Right? So is it bad breath, no dates? Could be, right? You may never get to the destination of where you want to go. Now, here's the thing. We spoke last week about how relationship building is key to success in anything. Yes, so yes, we spoke about the example that if you had a leak and you needed a plumber, the fact that you have a plumber in your network will mean that you're going to get something done quicker, potentially, than if you didn't know a plumber, right? The fact that you may know somebody in a different field because you've managed to build trust and relationships with those people could potentially get you to the destination a lot quicker. Now, what are some of the barriers that we've built up that we say they're to protect ourselves, but actually they're holding us back from the destination? I want you to put some things in the chat box right now. I want you to understand that these walls need to be broken, but before we can even break them, we need to understand what they are. We need to understand why these walls are up and what we have to do to break them. And then we have to believe that we deserve the outcome of what it is that we're saying. Because there's so many things that maybe we don't even realize because they're habits. Last week, we spoke about saying, I'm shy. How many people are at the back that say they're shy? That is a habit. Why do you say you're shy? Fear, Nicole. Fear. What other habits have we built up to protect ourselves that we hide behind because we say it's safer? We don't want to take the risk of doing anything else, but actually there's something else going behind the scenes that we got to break down. We got to break down those walls so that we can rebuild ones that are going to serve us and that's going to help us. And this is all a part of our series of getting our power back. We've been speaking a lot about power and the power on the inside of us. Shout out to those of you that actually purchased the book. All right. If you purchased the book, I've seen some of you tag me in that you purchased the book, started to read. Okay. Stepping into the unknown. Yes. Lack of confidence, fear of failure. All right. Stepping out of the comfort zone, all these things, generational trauma. And we build these walls up as a coping mechanism, all right? And I really want us to have a think about this because I see that a lot of the time it is not the trading or the e-commerce or the building the business that is the issue. It is the thing behind it that's holding us back sometimes. How simple is it to pick up the phone and invite somebody? It's simple, but it's not easy, right? How easy is it to go on a Go Live session? Everyone's capable of doing that. But it's simple, but it's not easy. Why? Because of the walls that we've built up. All right, childhood trauma. That's a good one. Some of these things you may have to trace back to childhood. Some of these things we may have to trace back to when we were in secondary school, primary school, when the parents got divorced, or, we have to trace back to why we feel those ways. Feeling like we don't deserve. That's a big one right there. Feeling like we don't deserve, looking at other people and believing that other people, when people talk about other people in a derogative way, it's a reflection on themselves, that they don't believe that they're good enough to achieve what that person has. And it's like, we have to trace back those traits to say, well, where did the pride come from? Yes, Nori. Where did those feelings start to fester from? Where did a competitive spirit come from? Or just feeling like I don't deserve it? Where did those things come from? Who told me those words? And we now need to retrace those words and break them, break the walls down. I heard a story today, which I'm going to share with you guys, which is in regards to a builder. He was a brand new builder in this, in the job. He was a builder there. And there was a cemented wall that they were building. And the boss said to the new builder, look, I need you to put your hands up and hold onto this wall so that it doesn't collapse, all right? And just hold on to it. And so the guy, just being new, he didn't want to, not follow the instructions of the boss. So he stood there, he did what he was told to do, and he was holding this wall. And, a few hours went by, and he was still holding the wall. And, the rest of the gang, they were like, right, we're going to lunch, but just make sure you hold up the wall. We don't want the wall to go down. And he was just like, okay. And then a few hours went by and homeboy's still here holding up the wall. And, the guys, they went lunch, they came back, they were doing their thing. They're like, listen, bro, don't let go of the wall in it. Just hold onto that wall because you don't want that wall to break down. Like, just hold onto the wall. And homeboy was literally there holding onto the wall. And, the people then 5 o'clock come and they were like, listen, yo, bro, we're going home. We'll see you later. Do your thing in it. Just hold the wall. Whatever you do, just don't let go. And the brother's there holding the wall for hours and hours and hours. And then he was just like, I'm getting tired. I'm hungry. When do I get to go home? Like, what's going on? Is this a trick? Am I going to get fired? Like, I don't want to let go of the wall and then they fire me and it's a trick. And then she's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to let one hand go and hold the wall with my next hand just to give this arm a rest. And then I'll swap hands and then I'll give the other arm a rest. And then he did that. And then both arms were just getting too tired. And then he was like, you know what? Let me just see if I let go of both hands. And this was about 9 p.m. the night after holding it the whole day. And he let go with both hands and he looked at the wall and the wall was still standing. And he was like, The wall's still standing. He's looking around, there's no one there. He called the boss and he was like, right, I'm gonna leave now. And the boss was like, okay, stay there, we're gonna come. And all the team came back because they had to lock up. And he was like, I'm ready to go. And they all just started to laugh at him. They were literally like, you just now, you let go of the wall, bro. You literally just let go of the wall just now. And he was like, yeah. And they're like, it's a cement wall, like a cement wall just stands up for itself. And he was like, yeah, but, and they all just laughed and they basically just ran off and left and they went home, right? But what's the moral of the story, guys? What is the moral of the story? When he let go, what was still going on? The wall was still there. The wall was still there when he let go of the wall. What do we take from that? What's the metaphor of that story? What's the point of it? That sometimes we're holding on to things, all right, that are going to prevent us from going somewhere else. Sometimes we're physically holding on, and guess what happened? Because he was holding on, guess what? He missed out on lunch. He missed filling up himself. He missed out on the nutrition of his body. He missed out on strengthening his skill sets. He missed out on a whole day. You could reflect that day onto his life because he was holding on to something that didn't need to be. In fact, he needed to let go a lot earlier. Hello, somebody. He needed to let go a lot earlier in order to fulfill the purpose of his life. But because he was holding on, how many of you right now are holding on to things that are not serving you, that's hurting you? How many of you on this call right now are holding on to things that if you only let go of that pride, if you only let go of that negative self-talk, if you only let go, you'll be surprised that actually you feel better. Can you imagine his arms, the pain that he put himself through from holding on to something that wasn't serving him? The pain. But what did I get from this? Because I tell you this, oh, this is good. Why didn't he let go? Because of what he thought other people were going to think. He didn't let go because he wanted to impress other people. He was thinking about he wasn't thinking about the wall. He was like, I don't want to let go in case I get fired. I don't want to let go in case what they are going to say about me. Oh, somebody's going to catch this tomorrow. How many of you right now need to let go of something? Need to let go of that thing that's hurting you. It's not even serving you. Sometimes, when you hold on to something, it's something that, they say guilty pleasures, right? So you hold on to the macaroni and cheese because, it tastes good. But some of the things that we're holding on to are not even serving us. How many of you are holding on to negative friends? Holding on to people that don't even treat you good? Like, what's the point of holding on? You're not even getting anything from holding on. You're holding on to negative self-talk that only makes you feel bad. Holding on to things that are just not serving the purpose and the calling and the mission on your life. How many of you know there's something to break today? We have to break those walls today. What is the thing that you have to break? Every single person will know what it is. For me, it's networking. I have to get out there again. I'm so comfortable being in the environment with you, or you're my family. I don't feel shy around you guys. I don't feel introvert around you guys. I feel cool. I'm in my comfort zone. But you see, going out there and trusting again after the damage and the hurt, like, don't get me wrong, I know what they say about me. We all have the days, whether it's family, friend, enemy. I know what they say about me, but I don't really care what they say about me. But when it's coming to building new, how many of you have had an old relationship and you stayed in longer? Because I hate this term when you guys say it's better the devil. Why you want to know a devil? I don't even know. All right. I don't want to know no devils. I don't want to be a part of no devil. I don't know no devils. Right. But you hold on to a relationship because you're like, it's long to start again. I don't want to do the get to know you process. It's all long. It's long. And we build up this wall in our mind that starting that journey of trusting again is something that's going to hurt us. There's something that's going to damage us. In fact, you may network with somebody, Nikki, that's the key to some of the situations, right? So here's what I did. I tried it out. I don't know if Lisa's on the call, but Lisa was actually on the phone with me when it happened. Now, I'm a product of the product, guys. If I say something to you, I'm doing it myself. And what did I say to you guys a couple of weeks ago? How when someone talks to you, let me not talk too loud because my husband's, I think he's on the call anyway. But, right, when someone talks to you and you know their intention is not just, you know, to say hi, right? But as ladies, we have that thing where we're just like, oh no, I'm not interested. We don't have to be so stiff-lipped with me. Like, ladies, we can still be, you know, we can still be cordial. We can still be, you know, nice. We can still give out our IGs, our Facebooks. Lisa will tell you. And so I was in supermarket. I was coming out and the guy was like, oh, hello. I was like, hi, hello. He was just like, oh, are you from around here? Are you local? I was like, yeah, are you? And he was just like, oh, okay, cool. Are you having a barbecue? Because he saw me with the barbecue stuff in my hand. I was like, yeah, actually I am. He's like, oh, what? No invite, no? You know how you men try it. And the old me would have been like, John, look at Dr. Boy, leave me alone, like, don't talk to me. I just kissed my teeth and walked off. But I said, you know what? I said to him, oh yeah, it's my son's birthday. And I was like, thank you so much. You seem like a pleasant person. And he said, yes, thank you. So I said to him, here's what, I'm in a hurry right now. Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? And straight away, he was like, yes. I was like, give me your IG, have a look. Now, when he looks at my IG, guess what he's gonna see? Wife, right? Because it's clearly labeled. He's also gonna see investor, entrepreneur. And guys, I'll let you know on a little secret. If you see me welcome a gentleman called Douglas into the group chat, you'll know that it's him, right? Because I am now not going to close doors, because how many of you got into this space because you thought you came to make money, but actually God has opened other doors for you? That maybe it wasn't just about money. Maybe it was about developing yourself. I see the dancers on the call. Maybe it was about joining a dance group. Maybe God was telling you to form friendships. Maybe. So some things on the outset could be something, but actually it evolves into something else. And so we can't block the blessings when they come, because they're not packaged in the way that we believe they have to come. And so I had to break down the barriers that I had filled up for myself to realize that actually there is, and guess what he said? He is a, I don't know if Lisa can remind me, but he was a physiotherapist, right? And I actually need some information in regards to physio. And so we began to kind of have a short little conversation about that. And I was like, amazing. So there is power, right? Here's the word again. We need to find the power in networking, trusting. Now, remember the scale. I ain't going to invite homeboy to my house. I don't know him like that. It's not like I'm going to go, hey, come over to my house. That's a 10 and that'll be crazy, right? But we have to look at the scale, on that scale, and say, at what point do I trust him enough to have my Instagram? Yes. What's the worst that can happen? What's he going to do? If he does anything, you know, extra that's a bit, you know, unprofessional or out of character, I can block him. Why are we, you know, why is it that we have these walls up? All right. Why do we have these walls up? What's the worst case scenario? What's going to happen? What's the worst case scenario? You speak to a stranger. What's going to happen? And so we need to start to rebuild the walls. All right. I can hear some of the men like, oh gosh, Nikki's telling the ladies to go chat to man. No, that's not what I'm saying. That was just an example. All right. And now, ladies, you guys got to remember, it works both ways. All right. It works both ways. So if the men are networking, all right, and I say networking, I ain't saying nothing else. All right. Let's keep it professional. We need to make sure that it is, you know, we are supposed to, you know, you don't know if you go into somebody's life that you can actually bless them. There is something that you possess that can bless somebody else. And we have to understand that the walls that we've put up for ourselves, we need to ask ourselves, are they serving us or are they holding us back? What we're doing on a daily basis, is it serving you or is it holding you back? Is it serving you? Is it holding you back? Now, by serving you, mind work. Is it serving my mind? Is it serving my phone work? Is it serving my heart? Is it serving me? If it isn't, then it potentially could be holding me back, and I need to break that. I need to self-evaluate. And everyone will be able to self-evaluate what that thing is that potentially could be holding us back, could be a wall, could be a blocker. Anybody ever get to a place where you keep getting so far and then you keep going back again? Keep going so far, keep going back. Get so far, get back. And you have to pinpoint what is happening here. Why does this keep on being a cycle? How come I always feel like this is happening? This routine seems to happen over and over again. I need to break it. I need to find out what it is. If you look for people to mistrust, you find it. Whatever you look for, you find. Whatever you go out there and look for, remember we talk about manifestation. If we see our goals, we manifest it in our life. If we drive that BMW, that Range Rover, we manifest it into our life. So if you're looking for a liar, you're looking for a cheat, you're looking for someone to mistrust, guess what you're going to find? Exactly what you look for. You're going to find exactly what you look for. So we got to watch the mouth, watch what we say, watch what we think. Check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Check. Is my mindset thinking the right thing? Is my mind professing what it is that I want to see? Because what I'm seeing showing up isn't what I say I want. So now I have to track back to see what it is that I think. Remember what I showed you guys? Who was on the call on Thursday where I showed you the water and how the water turned black when it heard the negative words? That's how our body is. 70% of our body is water. And so if we start speaking negative over our life, guess what happens to our spirit? Guess what happens to our insides? So we have to be careful what we think. Be careful what we speak, right? And so here's the line that I want you to remember. Greatness is challenging you today for a better tomorrow. Greatness is challenging you today for a better tomorrow. Don't be stuck at being good. If I speak to any of you guys and say, hey, how you doing? What's up? Don't tell me you're good. I'm great. I'm amazing. Good is the, what do they say? Good is the killer of great. Because when you're good, you don't aim for great. I don't want you to be good no more. It's great. I'm amazing. I'm brilliant. When people ask me, how you doing, Nikki? I'm great and I'm grateful. That's where my spirit is. I'm great and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for life. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a chairman, because I've been like this from the day dot, guys. I've been showing up 3.5 years. And this is something I'm going to challenge us on when I'm going into the 12 tips before I go way off. You got to ask yourself where you began to get inconsistent. What allows you to be inconsistent? Why is it that you get pumped up? Have you guys experienced? I don't think I should go there. Have you guys ever seen someone type in the chat, that's it, I'm going all in. You're going to see me next 90 days. I'm all in. Chairman is the goal. And you see them in the chat for 1 week. And then the following week, you never hear about them again. You're like, what happened to that chairman is the goal talk from last week? You get pumped up. This is why we get pumped up by the mindset called motivation instead of dedication. We need dedication, guys. How are you going to be pumped up? It's like, I love people. I love people. I do love people. We're in a people business. And I find people so interesting because when, especially because of who I am, I attract a lot of men and women of God. And so they'll message me and they'll say, God told me to message you. And God told me that, I want to join your team. And God said, and when they come in for the week, they're excited. God told me, yes, I've got in this trade. And this is it. God told me to press the blue button. I made money. And God this and God is the... And the following week is like, I'm thinking of giving it a break. I was like, what? What? God told you to give it a break as well? And I'm not mocking, guys, but God is not a spirit of confusion. I don't know about it. I don't praise a confused God. He can't be telling you to be in this week. What, did he change his mind? No, you over leveraged and you blew your account, right? And now you're trying to say God told you to take a break. He didn't. He told you to stop being greedy. That's what he told you to do, right? And so we got to be careful the rules that we put up to pretend to protect ourselves from taking ownership. Right? Let's take ownership. Not everything is God said, and God made me over leverage. God did not make you over leverage. He did not tell you to press buy and put 1.0. Oh, that was greed. That was the devil. That wasn't God. That was a spirit of deception. That was not God. Right? So we really need to make sure that we're very careful on how we package the accountability that we hold for ourselves. Yes or yes, guys? And I say that jovial, I say it as a joke, but you guys get the point that I'm making, is that we get pumped up because we get motivated. And we say, yes, that was a word, Nikki, Monday mindset, that was powerful. And by Wednesday, we done forgotten what we promised ourselves on Monday. We don't want to go hard no more. And you guys can check the receipts. I've had no days off. 3.5 years. I show up. I put out. I do my personal development. I'm in the trenches. Why? Because I understand the assignment. Oh, that's a meme right there. She understood the assignment. Social media will get that. Right? Do you understand the assignment? Do you get the assignment? Yeah, I understand the assignment. So I keep showing up. Right? Let me go into the 12 tips for you. Number 1. Perseverance. Perseverance. All right. That word alone is so loaded. It's heavy. It's a heavy, loaded word. Perseverance. It's easy to be motivated on a Monday mindset call. It's easy to say you're going to do the work on Monday. But how do you go when life happens? Can you persevere? Can you push through? Can you have that positive self-talk? Tear down the walls, rebuild the walls of perseverance. One of the building blocks in your walls will be perseverance. We're breaking down the barriers. We're destroying the yokes. We're tearing down procrastination, negative self-talk. We've torn them. We've burnt them. We've thrown them in the builders. Any builders on the call? The cement thing. We broke them up. We mashed them up. Right? I want you to put in the chat right now what we're mashing up. Let's mash it up right now. All right? I'm going to mash up failing to trust people before I know them. That's what I'm going to mash up. Because I need to let go. I need to network. Guys, I started netball. You'll be pleased to know your girl's getting in shape. This is the 3rd week in a row. I'm feeling good. I scored some goals today. I ran around the court. Yes, I was tired with a Y. I was tired. But I showed up. I'm playing with 18 and 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. There's one lady, she looked like she's in her 60s and she is outshining me. I'm like, how long you been playing, lady? She's like, yeah, keep up. Right? I'm showing up. Perseverance, right? Perseverance. Did I want to necessarily go today? No, but I'm not listening to my feelings. I can't trust my feelings. Why can't I trust my feelings? Because my feelings are not always right in reality. Stop depending on your feelings. Your feelings are not always right, guys. We can't trust the feelings. The feelings are for the moment. We got to make sure that we stick to the process. Feelings are temporary. Yes, Angelina. So perseverance. Are you going to push through? You're going to push through, right? So we're breaking down all those barriers and we're replacing them now. We're now rebuilding the walls. We're replacing them with number 1, perseverance. Number 2, I'm declaring to myself that I'm working with the best. I'm going to work with the best, right? I'm not declaring that I'm going to work with people that are going to stress me out. You know, like how many of you, heard somebody say, oh, I'm not building no more. People stress me out. That is a negative self-talk. That's a negative self-fulfilling prophecy. Because if you say people stress you out, guess who you're going to attract? More people that stress you out. And that's why you're going to, and then we're going around in a cycle. So I am declaring that I will be working with the best. I'm going to be focusing and working with people that are forward thinkers, that are encouragers, that are consistent, that are perseverers. I'm only working with the best. And I encourage those of you that are connecting with individuals, when you're looking for people to join your business, all right, be specific on the type of person that you're looking for. Don't bring people into this business that's going to stress you out and that's going to give you headache. All right. Now, the great thing about our network is that, yes, the link is in the bio and anyone can press the link in the bio, but I'm not going to seek people that are going to stress me out. I'm not going to seek people that look inconsistent. How do I find consistent people? I can look at someone's page and see they always turn up to the gym. That's a trait that I want to work with, someone that's consistent. I can look at someone's page and see that they seem loving. The things that they post are not negative. The things that they post are edifying and loving. I can pick up the clues. I can see somebody's page and I can determine whether or not I want to explore further a relationship with them. I only want to work with the best. I will only work with the best. All right. I'm going to work with people that's more even successful than I am. All right. I don't want to be the smartest in the room. I don't want to be the one that's recognized everywhere in the room. I want to work with new people. I want to put myself out there to connect with more people that are different to me, that have something to put on the table. Right. That's number 2. Number 3. I want to work with people that love people, that are in the retail world, you say customer driven, but I don't want to say customer driven here. I want to work with people that love other people, because people is what makes the world, right? I don't want to work with someone that's always, that's talking down about other people. I don't want to work with people that don't love people. One of the things, somebody was upset with me the other day because I forgot to call them back. A family member, and really upset to the point where they ignored me, they didn't say, and I forgot to call them back. Honestly, it was my error. I did forget to call them back. But I want to work with people that have grace, that are understanding, that we're not all perfect, that I'm not going to kill you if you've made a mistake, that I'm not going to, I want to work with people. Does that make sense, guys? I want to be around people that are selfless, that love people, that are people. Number 5, I must stay focused on the vision. Focused on the vision. Focus on the vision. One of the things that when I make decisions, I missed number 4. Put that as number 4, guys. Sorry. Number 4. I've said number 5 first, but we'll go to number 4 after. But put that as number 4. All right. Number 4, stay focused on the mission. I must stay focused on the mission, to the point where distractions will not take me away from the mission. In fact, I'll rather be one of the leaders that maybe doesn't make popular decisions, but makes decisions for the mission. Makes decisions for the vision. The vision is empower others to empower others. And so I'll give you a quick example. One of the things that's a standard inside our platform is to call people prospects. And I don't like it. And so I said I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago, I said, guys, we are no longer calling people prospects. They are people. I don't want to call people prospects. So we may go on a chairman call, we may hear other people call them prospects, but we've made a decision in Wealthier World that people are people. Everyone in alignment with that? Do we agree that we don't call people prospects? I know it's a standard in the industry to call people prospects, but I believe that we should call people people. So when I have somebody that is looking to enroll, I don't say sign up, I don't call people prospects. When I'm looking for somebody who's going to enroll into the academy, I'll say, I found an individual, not I found a prospect, I found an individual who really wants to change their life, an individual that has goals. Why am I calling somebody a prospect? I wouldn't call them a prospect to their face. So why am I calling them a prospect in a group chat? Guys, I got a prospect. No, we don't call people prospects. And that's an industry standard, but we agree here as a family that we don't call people prospects. We don't say signing up, I'm signing somebody up. No, we're enrolling them into the academy. They're part of the family, right? So things are industry standard, but that doesn't mean it has to be our standard. We do things different over this side. We love on people. We We want people to achieve their goals. We help people to get to the next level. And so we don't call them prospect, because prospect is just somebody that we're ticking a box. Oh yeah, we got 1 on, 2 on, 3 on. No, people are people. We want people to achieve their goals. We take people's goals seriously here, and we really want to look after people. So if we see people as prospects, we don't look after them. We don't see them. And so it's important that we have that standard here, so we are set apart. How many remember that training that we did, that we're set apart, right? So I want to make decisions that are not just industry standard, but mean something to us here. And I don't mind being unpopular. I don't mind being different, but I will do is we'll stand to what we believe in, and we'll do it well. It's like, you know, we had a conversation today with the leaders. I was like, all these messages saying, you know, well, we welcome someone to the group chat, right? So I say, welcome Diane to the group chat. But when I'm welcoming her, I'm saying, look, she was introduced by Polly. Well, why are we highlighting Polly? We're here to talk about Diane's goals. So, hey guys, let's welcome Diane to the group. She's an amazing mom and wife, and she's here to really smash it in ECX, right? We don't need to highlight she was introduced by Polly. This is not Polly. This is about Diane. Does that make sense, guys? Does it make sense to what I'm saying? We want to be people of integrity. We want to love on people. This is not a place of narcissism where we look at ourselves and say, hey, look at me. I'm the one that brought her in. No, we're here to focus on that person. But that's an industry style. It's not just us. A lot of people do things like that. And it's about, and we live in a world, and I'm teaching my daughter this now, not everything is about recognition. Everybody wants to be recognized. Well, actually, the Skrill every week's going to recognize you. Your trading account's going to recognize you. You don't need affirmation by a whole bunch of people in a group chat. You know, I had somebody message me, Nikki, you didn't say happy birthday to me. Do you know how many birthdays there are in the groups every single day? I apologize. But my role is not to sit there doing happy birthday messages all day. I got mission, we got vision, we got purpose. And yes, it's amazing to do that. But just forgive me, guys. I don't sit there 24 hours a day watching every single message. I miss some, right? There are some that's missed. But what's the bigger picture? Keep the main thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. The rewards will come. You don't need to beg for someone to give you a pat on the back. Give yourself a pat on the back. If you've done something that you're proud of, you go ahead in the chat box and say it. Guys, I'll have a proud moment. Call it out. If you want to be celebrated, let's do it properly. Call it out. Guys, I have a proud moment. I went to netball today. I feel like celebrating myself. Anybody want to celebrate me? Go ahead. When I see that Skrill every Friday, I drop the screenshot into the leaders chat. I'm like, guys, I've just got another check from Christopher Terry. I want to celebrate. This is a byproduct of my hard work. Not everybody celebrates. In fact, most people don't. But do I care? No, because I'm celebrating me. We have to be in an environment where we can celebrate ourselves. But let's not make it so that, you know, and that was a spirit that I used to have where I needed affirmation and confirmation for other people to tell me I'm doing good. No, we don't need nobody to tell us we're doing good. Only we know the battles that we've overcome. Only we know the things that we've had to step over, climb over, break down to be able to get to where we are. Right? So don't look for your validation in other people. I definitely don't advise it, because if you do, you end up being disappointed. Right? Very, very important. Number five, when it comes to staying focused on your goals, keep the main thing, guys. All right, is understand what the goals are related to. What product and service are the goals related to? All right, what are the products and services related to your goals? Because all of us have a product or service that's going to be related to our goals. Could be as simple as, you know, HFX, DCX, FRX. But actually, there could be a service that's related to your goals. Maybe one of the big goals that you have is to become a counselor. And then that would be a service that's connected to your goals. What are the products and services connected to your goals, and how do you strengthen those? How do you really become a product of the product? How do you really start to hone in on those products? Make sure those products are, you know, are utilized in the best way possible. Number 6, don't compromise. When you've decided on the goal, don't compromise that goal. What it looks like now doesn't matter. You decide on the goal and you stick to it. Don't compromise that goal. And that's what happens sometimes when we build walls up. How many of you have met somebody? I shared it last week where I met a guy and he told me that his goal was to get a job in Streatham Tesco. He's compromised goals over life because of what life has done to him. He's lowered his goal. I don't believe when he was 10 years old, he said he wanted to work in Streatham Tesco. No one can tell me that Streatham Tesco was this young man's goal. But during life, things have happened, and now his biggest goal is to get a job in Streatham Tesco. Don't compromise your goals based on the reality that you see. What you do is you change your reality to adjust to the goal. And that could mean pushing harder, going in more, right? Don't compromise. Number 7, another way to stay focused on the goal is to appreciate the people around you. That could be a team, that could be your family members, that could be friends, that could be associates. Appreciate people, love on them. It's, interesting, a lot of people want love, but they're not willing to give love. Give out love to others, show appreciation. If somebody's helped you over the week, over a day, maybe they took a moment to answer your question, show appreciation, love on people. It's a way that keeps you focused onto your goal, because when you're loving on others, you actually see that I've come a little bit further than what I may have given myself credit for. Show appreciation to others, help others to see their worth as well. And in turn, it really does satisfy you. Number 8, when it comes to staying focused on your goals, is do the right things. Get the right strategy. And I tell you, the money will come, the people will come, the outcome will come. Do the right things, get the right strategy. All right. Under pressure, sometimes people can feel like cutting corners. And I tell you, if you cut corners, it doesn't last. It's like that builder. If you build with a few bricks and you think, oh, I'm tired, I'll skip a few layers, the wall is not going to sustain. It's going to collapse. So you want to build on a solid foundation. Integrity is key. It's so important. Don't try to cheat the grind. Don't try to cheat your way to the top. It don't work. This is why I hear some people, trying to do funded accounts. I hear people trying to get other people to trade for them. All these little shortcuts only have one outcome after. You crash and burn, you start again. In fact, the shortcuts make you even more delayed than you were if you started before. Right? I met a lady this week who I spoke to her months ago. I said to her, listen, but based on your goals, elite pack, let's go, 325, 250. She was like, okay, Monday I'm going to join. Monday never came. And I'm a person, I don't run down people in it. Like, she never came back to me. The Monday never came. And, she came back to me, I think it's about 7 months now. She messaged me and she said, Nikki, I was scammed. They took my money. I said, who took your money? They said £100 and that would be it. And because it was cheaper than what you said, I went with them and they told me to send me my crypto wallet and give them £100. They took all her money from her crypto. They took £100 from her and literally just took her money. In total, 37 grand gone. And now she's like, Nikki, I'm ready to start, but I don't have that much to start with. And I'm like, mate, the pain, like I feel it for her. There was no way I was going to say, yo, what could you say to that? They literally, and it's like, it's one of them ones where it's almost like, as parents, we tell our children things and then when they don't do it, you're like, mate, what? And that saying, how many of our parents have said, oh, no, you will feel, innit? And you don't want to say that because it's like, I definitely wasn't going to say it. I was like, listen, it's a lesson. And this is one of the things I teach my students, never give anybody your money. And you definitely don't give your crypto wallet and your password. Do the right things, guys. Create the right strategy. Create the right strategy, okay? What is the right thing? The right thing is what's going to get you to your goal ethically. Now, if you've built up a wall and you've told yourself what that right thing is, maybe you need to break some barriers down here, because the goal that you have needs a strategy that's going to get you there. Does that make sense? Now you're picking and choosing what strategy you use, but maybe you have available to you a strategy that you're not using right now because you built that wall up to say, I don't do that. No, I don't want to get involved in that. And we got to make sure that we're using the right strategy, providing it's ethical. Number 9. This is important, and this is about creating the power in you, right? Now, this is around in sales, we call it the USP, unique selling point. What is your unique selling point? And a lot of people struggle with this. They don't know what's great about them. What is great about you? What's your unique selling point? Why would I want to work alongside you? Why would I want to be around you? Why would I want to hang around you? What's great about you? And then I want you to exaggerate that fact on your socials, exaggerate it in how you speak in the chats. I want you to get that out about you. So what's really cool about you? What is your unique selling point? What's different from you, Belinda, to you, Andrea, right? What is your unique selling point? What's special about you that when anyone connects with you, they won't get it anywhere else? All right, so have a think about that so you can start to really build that part, that muscle where you have that inner power, that self-confidence. Number 10, I've touched on this a little bit. Be your own audience. Be your own audience. So some people could say be a product of the product, but I want to take it a little bit further than that. I want you to ask yourself, would I mentor me? Would I be happy with me mentoring me? Would I be happy with me mentoring me? That's all I'm going to say to you guys on that. So yes, be a product of the product, but ask yourself that question. Would I be happy with me mentoring me? And if not, what do I need to do about it? Don't just sit there and say, no, sir. But now what do you need to do about it? How can you mentor yourself? You know, sometimes I watch back my own videos and I'm like, oh my God, she's speaking to me again. And I'm literally having a conversation with me. And you've got me in my videos going, why are you exaggerating the points? You know, you need to get up. I'm sitting down in my bed. And, you know, I literally posted this on my social media. Who's scrolling? Someone's scrolling in their bed right now, you know, wasting time. And I actually posted it whilst I was in bed, wasting time. I spoke to myself. I got up straight away. I was like, hey, girl, just speaking to you again. Stop it. I actually mentor myself, guys. I go back through some of my old videos and I'm listening to myself. You're procrastinating. You're doing this. You're doing that. I'm like, oh, you should be able to mentor you. You should be that good that you end up mentoring yourself. That's why it surprises me when people go, oh, I ain't got a mentor. You are your mentor. Your personal development should mentor you. This is why it's important to keep a track. This is why it's important to do video diaries so you can go back, so that if I'm ever in a position where I've got to think about stuff, I look on my Instagram and I go back to the titles and I look and I'm like, okay, maybe I need to up the ante this week. So I go back to a video that I've done and I find something about goals and I find something about moving faster. There's something there that's going to light my fire. I don't need to wait for my mentor to do it for me. And I have the privilege of being mentored by Matt Rosa and Jason Brown, who are chairman 750s, who are the most busiest people in the world. So I got to find a way to mentor me, because by the time they get to me, I've done got 3 more problems waiting for them to figure out, right? So we got to find a way to mentor ourselves. Would you mentor you? What do you need to do about it? Start speaking to yourself. Start doing videos that if you watched it back on Instagram, it would help you. How about that? Can we make that as a deal? If you actually do an Instagram live and you watch it, who watches their Instagram lives back? I do. I take notes. Who I'm talking is the Holy Spirit talking. So when I listen, I'm taking notes. I'm like, oh, that was good. I'm saying to Anton, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Anton's like, yeah, man. Right? So, you know, ask yourself that question. Number 11, have fun. All right. It's the worst thing ever if you work, and you don't have fun. Have fun with what you do. All right. It will remind you why you're doing what it is that you're doing in the first place. Have fun. All right. Break down those walls that tell you that you can't have fun. How many of us have ever thought that work is never supposed to be fun? Because we've always worked and looked at the clock. Oh, when is it lunchtime? When is it home time? When is it annual leave time? How many sick pay do I have left? Like, you just always in that mindset. We've been taught that work isn't supposed to be fun. If you're having too much fun, sometimes your boss puts more work on you because they think that it's too easy or whatever it is. So have fun with what you do. People are attracted to people that want to have fun. All right. And 12 is to be committed. Work. Do the work. You know, do the work. Put the work in so that you can play later. What is the saying? You know, if you work hard for 5 years in this business, all in, you will live a lifestyle that most people will never live. I'm only 3.5 years in deep, guys, and I'm already living a life that most people will never. Why? Because I've learned to compress timeframes. If you guys really study my operating rhythm, you'll be like, wow, Nikki's doing 2 mindset calls a week. She's doing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 opportunity calls a week. How many of you are outworking me right now? Now, here's the thing. If you want what I have, you got to do what I do, right? And this is why I never understand people that hate other people's results, because it's all available to us. Wealth is abundance. The results is available to all of us. You just have to duplicate the process. So if you want what I have, you got to do what I do. So what's my blueprint? I'm doing 12 opportunity calls a week, 2 mindset calls a week. What else, guys? What is the blueprint? Right? At one point, I was doing pink money every day. So we have to be able to spot blueprints, understand that everything is available. Whatever somebody else has is available for me too. They've proven that it's not non-existent. They've proven that it's not impossible. All I need to do is pick out what it is that they're doing. Yes, I'm on social media. I post minimum 10 stories every day, 2 Instagram lives every day. I show up on Instagram every day, Facebook every day. I show up every day. Now, there's no way that you can complain about what it is that you have if you don't put in the work of the person that you see has what you want and you don't duplicate what it is. Now, that's a loaded one. That's thick right there. My mentor once said to me, Nikki, outwork me. And I'm still trying to outwork him. I just said the word. I'm not trying to. I just caught my own self. I'm paying myself. I just caught my own self. See, I'm a product of the product. I hold myself accountable. I'm gonna pay me. First one to say it gets the pound. Who wants it? Pay up. Novell, send me your scroll. It's yours, right? But you see what I'm saying? We gotta hold each other accountable. We gotta make sure that we don't play around with this stuff. We're gonna make sure someone's saying this in it first. I don't know. Whoever it is, whoever it says, whatever. I'll send you guys, right? So let's do this. I want to see in the chat. How many of you have got 3 out of 3 today? Phone work, mind work, and heart work. And if you're new onto this call, what we do is every single day, we're gonna say our goals, all right? Before we go, write down our goals in the morning. All right. We write down our goals in the morning. That's what we do every day. Why do we write down our goals in the morning? So that we know what's on our heart. We know what it is that we want to achieve. We know what it is that we're going for, right? What is the goals on your heart? Every day you write down your goals, okay? I'm going to do mine, all right? You got to be honest to yourself, guys, all right? Next one, you write down your goals. The next one is very simple. Before you go to your bed the night before is what do, guys? Our affirmations. We declare what it is that we are, who we are, and what we're about. Before we go to our bed, our affirmations. Wealth is my birthright. I'm a magnet for wealth. I attract positive people. I am a positive person. I am a person of influence. Wealth is an abundant thing in my life. Generational habits have been broken. I have my six-pack. I'm affirming this stuff, right? And then 3, the third one is the phone work. Connecting with 10 people daily, new people, and inviting them to an opportunity call to see your business, exposing them to your business. Now, if you're somebody that has done 2 out of 3, I want you to type in the chat, which of them have you missed out? Which ones have you missed out? All right? And ask yourself, okay, at what point are you going to say enough is enough? At what point are you going to say, I can't keep doing this to myself? You know, I feel uncomfortable going to my bed without getting them done. It's something that I now don't feel comfortable. The leaders will tell you, I'm in the group chat 2 o'clock in the morning. I've done it now. I don't go to my bed. I do not go to my bed until I do it. It's something that's instilled in me now. It's instilled in me. And I gave you guys a tip on the phone work on Thursday. Very simple. Go onto your stories. Have a look who's viewing your stories. Speak to those people. I guarantee you'll get more than 10. That's if you're updating your stories. And if you're not, you need to, guys. All right? One of the tips I gave for the goals, heart work, before you get out your bed, have your book by the side of your bed. Don't get out your bed without writing down your goals. A man without a plan, we already know what happens. We need to have plans daily. It's important, very important. And so I know they're going to be checking on the mindset call in the morning and getting everyone to declare where they're at. Don't fall behind on this, guys. Hold yourself accountable. Break down the walls that tells you it's impossible. I can't talk to 10 new people like that. Yes, you can. Go outside. Speak to people. Make new relationships. Make new friends. Come out the comfort zone. But we have to break these walls down, guys. Who's actually prepared to break down some walls? Who's really on a journey of growth? Who's on that journey of growth? I'm growing every day. Successful people never stop growing, always challenging themselves to the next level. So with that being